Hello, welcome. I'm glad that you're with us as we continue our chronological read through of the Bible. Yesterday, we looked at the reigns of the two kings of Judah that came after Rehoboam. Today, we're going to look at the kings of the northern kingdom, actually, all of the kings of Israel that lead up to Israel's seventh and possibly most well known king, King Ahab. And we'll acknowledge the beginning of the reign of Judah's king, Jehoshaphat. While the southern kingdom of Judah is blessed to have a number of good kings, meaning that the kings are faithful to the Lord, the northern kingdom, Israel, well, it's plagued by kings that are ever increasingly ever more wicked. God had promised Jeroboam that if he was faithful to God, that God would establish his household over Israel. But Jeroboam strayed from God right from the very beginning of his reign. Jeroboam's son Nadab was became king of Israel after Jeroboam's death. Because of the wickedness of Jeroboam, God had said that rather than establish Jeroboam's house as king over Israel, he was going to wipe it out. And that's indeed what happens. Just 2 years into Nadab's reign, Baasha conspires against him, kills him, and reigns in his place. And as soon as Baasha is established as king over Israel, he destroys all of Jeroboam's house. Not a descendant remains, just as God had declared. Baasha reigns for 24 years, but really, he's no more faithful to God than Jeroboam was. So God sends Jehu, the son of Hanani, who we heard about yesterday, to tell Baasha that because of his disobedience to God, his house too will be destroyed, just as the house of Jeroboam was. Elah, the son of Baasha, reigns next. He's just as unfaithful to God as his father, and he's overthrown within a year by Zimri, the commander of half of his chariots. Zimri then destroys all the descendants of Baasha, again, just as God had told him. Zimri reigns only 7 days, though, because the troops that were fighting against the Philistines in Gibbethon heard what had happened, and they made their commander Omri king instead. They marched against Zimri, who then committed suicide by burning down the house that he was in. A civil war follows. Half of the people are wanting Tibni to be king, the other half want Omri to be king. Omri prevails. He reigns for 12 years. Halfway through his reign, he buys a hill, he fortifies it with a city, and he names it Samaria. Like those before him, Omri does what's evil in the sight of God, even more than those who had come before him. When Omri dies, his son Ahab ascends to the throne. Ahab will be the worst so far. He takes Jezebel, a Sidonian, as his wife. He erects an altar for Baal. He serves and worships Baal. We're going to hear a lot more about him tomorrow. Returning to Judah, you're going to read in Second Chronicles about the beginning of the reign of King Jehoshaphat. Um, he's the son of Asa. Like his father, Jehoshaphat is also a king who honors God. Indeed, we're told that he lived in the ways of his ancestor David. Well, that's pretty high praise. The people were educated in the scriptures. God blessed the kingdom under Jehoshaphat's reign. Judah grew strong. They received tribute from the surrounding nations and had a strong fighting force. We'll find our way back to Jehoshaphat in a few days. Actually, for the next couple of days, we're going to need to be talking about King Ahab and Elijah, the prophet Elijah. Well, as always, may God be with you and bless you. As we read through these kings, I know things can get a little bit confusing trying to figure out what's going on in the two different places, Israel and Judah, and where the times line up and so on. But just the same, I hope that this little summary will be helpful to you. Look forward to joining with you again tomorrow.